7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We have ignition.
So Hulk had the idea of doing a true crime podcast. What's the inspiration?
I just like true crime stuff. I don't know.
You
I watched
listen to any? Is there any you listen to?
Netflix documentaries and
I watch some Netflix documentaries, but I also watch a lot of. I have like some YouTube channels that I listen to that's like all they talk about is true crime stuff. So a lot of it's not like the like super popular ones, but it's just like more modern day ones.
yeah.
Like true stories. So
Like, what are the names? Any names of channels that you listen to?
I mean, I listen to That Chapter a lot, which is not just like murders. I mean, a lot of it is murders, but it's also like kidnappings and, you know, whatever. You if you can imagine it, people have done it. So
Yeah.
But-
I don't want to think about it.
the one thing I can say about true crime is 9 times out of 10, they fall into pretty similar like camps in terms of motivation. Like almost all the time it's for money, like insurance money. So people will like kill their spouse or something for life insurance.
Yeah, it's usually somebody they know.
Yeah. Yeah. And most of the time it's like they're killing people they know. They're not just like killing random people. That's part of the reason why a lot of these like serial killers like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein are so like crazy infamous, is because they just like indiscriminately would kill people for seemingly no reason. Whereas it's like most people that commit murder, you can kind of see like the human motive behind it.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it for money. They're doing it for,
Yeah, there's some sort
XYZ.
of motivation.
and it's like a motivation that
Set
makes
motivation.
sense other than,
Whereas, Jeffrey Dahmer, I didn't know they interviewed him, and I don't know the extent of it, but I mean, what was the reasoning behind it? I couldn't tell you.
no, like a lot of these like serial killers, I think they're just killing people for the love of the game, the love of murdering people, I suppose.
So why do you think, because there's like, obviously serial killers have been around for like all of human history.
Yeah.
Why do you think that there's so many TV shows and like movies about it? Because I feel like at any given time, there's probably like a couple active serial killers or whatever, like in our country, but it's like, it's all over the media. What do you think about that?
I think human beings have a fascination with gore and murder and stuff. I mean, we've had a fascination with evil stuff for all of human history. I mean, you look back at the Romans and like the gladiatorial combat, like they're basically watching people kill each other for sport. I don't know. It's just fascinating to just like research and like hear about things that go so far against the societal norms or what's accepted, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe people like it because it makes them feel a little more normal.
Yeah.
That they're not doing too bad in life. I'm not.
Hopefully people don't feel too normal watching serial killer documentaries.
Yeah, I don't know. Here, Dahmer says his primary motivation for his murders was absolute control and the fear of abandonment.
Yeah.
So he would drug them, so he would control them in any way, and then abandonment. I don't know if he suffered abandonment from his past, from his parents. A lot of these guys don't usually have the best upbringing.
No.
So that's definitely a factor. I know Ed Gein, at least I know they Hollywooded it up, but in that Ed Gein documentary, I could only make it a couple episodes in because it just got so bad. But his mom was something else. I mean, just absolutely hated women. Women were the devil. This and that. Very controlling. So that has a huge huge factor in it. Jeffrey Dahmer, I believe his dad, because Jeffrey, I think, was like, he's kind of an odd kid at first, but
Yeah.
his dad played into it by like picking up roadkill on the side of the road and then dissecting it with his son and being like, oh man, this is cool. You got this raccoon's heart from the side of the road. And then obviously, like most things, the animal didn't become enough, so then he needed something bigger, and then the human, factor of it. And I'm sure eventually, if he kept it going, that would not. If he never got caught, the human wouldn't become enough. So then, what's next? He just does something even worse.
Yeah, I think with Jeffrey Dahmer, and this is pretty common for a lot of people that end up becoming serial killers, is when you look there's normally, evidence that when they were a kid they started by, like, torturing and like killing animals.
Yeah,
where it's like
gateway to it.
Yeah, where it's like Jeffrey Dahmer, he I don't think his dad necessarily started his fascination with killing animals, but he definitely fed into it. It's like Jeffrey would get like caught like torturing animals or something, killing animals, and his dad just like fed into that by like, oh, we can take in this roadkill and dissect it and do all this stuff. I don't know. I think that's a pretty weird thing to do with your son.
That's
Dissect.
I didn't know his dad was a part of it. So
not a part of the murders,
but the roadkill thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He kind of enabled it, I believe.
They would drive out and like with shovels to like find roadkill on the side of the road, shovel it up, put it in the car, and like go home and dissect it.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, I knew that, like, because that's what he's infamous for, was the whole, like, playing with roadkill. I didn't know his dad was endorsing it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it definitely always starts there. Like, people just have zero empathy for pain. And then, like...
Yeah, they don't have a humanity switch of moral code and ethics.
Yeah.
Like most people do. Most people can think, all right, this is bad. Probably shouldn't do this. But this is good. I should do this. These people just have no switch, no anything.
No, not at all. Yeah, almost all serial killers are narcissistic. Like, they only care about themselves. And then they're also extremely sociopathic, where they just have the inability to feel any empathy for anybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Yeah.
It's, you can use that in that case, but then we move to the Slender Man girls, where they're only 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't think they probably didn't have a harsh upbringing. I can't imagine. I never read or saw anything on a harsh upbringing. So at that point, because if you don't know, the Slender Man is, that tall guy in suits that goes around killing people. I've heard a lot. I don't know if you guys have heard that, like, all right, video games deteriorate the mind, especially like war games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever it is. Like, you're more deemed to jump in that state of mind if you play video games than not. So Slender Man was huge back in the day. And for them, it just kind of took over. 2 12-year-old girls took their friend, so-called, to the woods, stabbed her 19 times. She crawled back to the road. A bicyclist found her and got her help. Doctors operated for 6+ hours. She survived, thank God. But, at what point do the parents have an effect, or outside factors have an effect, or is it just something that's just going to happen? They were both deemed mentally unstable, like early onset schizophrenia, whatever it may be. But
yeah, I think definitely from that case, I think there's two kind of angles that you kind of see it from. It's like we said before, it's like the people that have absolutely no empathy and are normally pretty narcissistic and had a fascination with just like killing things from like a young age. And then there's people with like actual mental health issues that, convince themselves of something that just isn't true. And that can lead people to do some pretty wild things. Definitely in the case of the Slender Man killings, I would say, or the Slender Man killing, I think it's definitely a combination of they probably did have some of these like mental issues, but like obviously the parents need to get involved somewhere. Like the responsibility has to fall on the parents, at least somewhat.
Yeah. And then, as we were talking about earlier, what percentage of these cases that are deemed, I'm sure there's a lot that are deemed like, mentally unstable.
Yeah.
What percentage of actual cases does the person lie about that just to not go to jail?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking like
If
25%.
you're any kind of like
Yeah.
public defender, the first thing you're gonna do when you get a murder
Yeah, mentally
suspect
unstable.
is
That's
gonna be
like,
like, oh, this you're gonna try to prove they're
Yeah.
crazy. Just for context, we're just talking about like true crime stuff that happened in Wisconsin. So these Slender Man girls were, yeah, they were like Nick was saying, they were like two 12-year-old girls took their friend into the woods and stabbed her repeatedly, left her for dead. But I remember that happened like 10 years ago, right? 10
yeah,
It was that longer?
2015, 2013.
to me,
something like that.
to me at the time, that seemed like two girls that were like part of that generation that was just raised on the internet and like had zero guidance. I don't like when you
Yeah,
heard
like
the
we didn't know about it as much.
yeah, it was like
or
because
how
they
much
were
of an
on
influence it could be.
yeah, and people said they were basically on like the dark web forums, reading about these insane Slenderman
Oh, yeah.
things.
Parents have no idea what their kids are accessing.
Yeah, like no
I
parental
think-
control. Yeah, and just like detached from reality. Like when you heard them interviewed, I remember seeing like a clip from their court proceedings, and like one of the like they were just messed up
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
like with no grasp on reality.
I mean, but if they were 12 in 2014, it means they're like my age. They're not
Yeah.
too far removed from my age.
Yeah.
I never felt like, I don't know. I never felt like playing video because like I played violent video games when I was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did all that. I never
Felt
But
an urge to
I never
in real life.
I never felt an urge to do it in real life. No.
Well, like imagine though if you're someone who's predisposed to be narcissistic, unempathetic.
Yeah, you didn't have any of those
Yeah.
traits beforehand, which
Yeah.
is why you turned out good.
And,
per
yeah,
se.
and you give that person access to like the dark web, and it's like
Oh, it's just
it's just
like
disgusting.
a deep hole.
Yeah, the stuff
And it's
that
amazing how the kids know how to access this stuff.
yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was in middle school, high school, and you'd meet all your friends at school. They're like, "Dude, we went on the dark web yesterday. It was crazy." I'm like, I don't even know how. I don't want to
Yeah.
know how because
Yeah.
at that time I was very gullible, and I mean the government's tracking anyways. But
Yeah. Well, the Slender Man girls, I think if I watched like a documentary on it like a while ago, but they got their fascination with Slender Man not necessarily from the games and more from like creepypastas online.
Yeah, that was what it was.
So like creepypastas are basically just like these scary stories that people put online.
all right,
And these girls are like reading about Slender Man, like the Slender Man ones, and they like convinced themselves that it was real, that like Slender Man was real, and that if they killed their friend, that they would basically get Slender Man's protection and be able to like be part of his like
yeah, like it was probably
Group.
part of the story. That
Yeah.
whoever wrote this made
Yeah.
this facade for these gullible kids to
Yeah.
follow. There's plenty of stuff out there that's trying to trick teenage kids into whatever it is, scamming, killing, robbing, whatever.
absolutely.
There's too many things out there to list, but
But the thing with the creepy pasta stuff, it's like, it's just something that I think 12, 11-year-old, 10-year-old kids should not be reading about
yeah,
without parental. Because like, obviously like adults can read that and we're mature enough to be like, yeah, this is obviously not real. Because it's written to sound real because that's what makes it scary. That's what makes it an interesting story. But I could easily see how like a 10-year-old kid who has no idea could read something like that and be like, oh yeah, this is real. This actually happened.
yeah. But at the same time, though, like we were just talking about Jeffrey Dahmer, he was committing crimes until he was like 40, maybe. I don't actually know, but
Yeah.
and that was before the age of the internet. It's like imagine like someone like that.
yeah, I mean,
In
same
today's
with
day and
Ed Gein.
age.
That was in the 1950s, I think. I mean, that was before the influence, but like you said, like they had stuff. They had more parental influence than social media influence,
Yeah.
which was not helpful. Ed Gein, his mom was horrible, and then his dad was a drunk, abusive guy. I mean, just bad examples
Mm.
out the gate.
I think the other part of it is like, it's definitely different nowadays because like kids have access to the internet like at their fingertips. But even when I was like super young, like back in between like 2001 and like 2010, like that still wasn't as like prevalent. Like I didn't feel like I had access to the internet as much as like kids nowadays have access to the internet,
Yeah,
where they can
I
just
think,
look up whatever they want.
like, you won't see many cases like this stuff nowadays because it's so easy to find and track. If you have this thing with you anywhere you go, even if it's shut off, it's tracking your location.
Yeah.
So if you're at least in the area, they're gonna find you and track you down. That's why I think all these major cases, Ted Bundy, it's all in the 50s, 60s, 70s. You know,
80s.
Yeah, I always
you
wondered
could
that.
get away with a little more, I think, back then.
That's like what I wonder is if it's like because we hear way fewer of these kind of cases of serial killers or like serial crime committers these days. I feel, but I always wonder if it's because those things usually don't come out for like a couple decades after they happen, or if it's because they're actually being stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're necessarily being, my opinion on it is that they're not, it's just changed. Like, this isn't the way to do it. The way to do it now is mass shootings.
Yeah, and that's
So like the
Yeah.
game itself has changed because they're like, all right, why do this over a 10 period of stretch where I kill 6 people instead of just trying to get as many at one time as possible? If their motives
That's
are
crazy.
based off of that, if
Yeah.
they have some weird like skin thing that they want to do, that might be the route. But I think that's just
Yeah.
with time, the evolution of it has changed to where this isn't what mainstream psycho and sociopaths are going to do. They're going to take a more extreme route.
Yeah. I mean, I also think kind of to Goggins' point though, is that a lot of the people that back in the 80s and 70s and 60s might have become serial killers, like had opportunities to kill more than one victim, like they get caught a lot quicker now because of phone tracking, DNA evidence. Like this is all like, as we've progressed, our ability to like catch these people has gotten a lot better with obviously the increase in technology and DNA. So it's a lot harder to just kill somebody and then vanish without a trace.
Yeah.
Nowadays. But yeah, I also think that for a lot of serial killers, it's less about killing a lot of people at once and more about like
the way they do it.
the way they just get enjoyment out of like killing somebody. So they don't necessarily need to kill like a ton of people. It's just whenever they feel like it's like an itch they have to scratch.
Yeah.
It's like when I eat food, I'm hungry. When I want to kill somebody, I go find someone to murder. That's kind of like how it is for them.
Yeah.
it literally just makes me feel like disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even talk about it too much. I'm like, damn, the fact there's people out there like that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and you wonder like how many
Just be
crimes
anybody.
just go not even like unsolved, but like undetected too. Like,
Well, Wisconsin is a pretty like, not swampy, marshy. It's a big
The-
marshy
yeah.
area. So like a
Yeah.
lot of murder cases go unsolved here. Like Louisiana, Mississippi, all those states where there's a lot of marshes or swamps.
yeah,
A lot of them go
very
unsolved
rural,
because there's just
isolated.
so many places that you can put a body where if you put the effort in, nobody's gonna think about it.
Yeah, nobody's going to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy world.
It is crazy. And it could be anybody.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, the amount of people that you've talked to, that you've met at least one psychopath in your life.
Absolutely. Or at least been in the same like vicinity.
Yeah.
In the bubble.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and even just like organized crime too. Like there's a lot of stuff that just goes on. Like that was a big thing out east, just like in Boston and like Rhode Island. There's a huge history, and like New Jersey, a huge history of like just organized crime. And just like people getting whacked and whatever, thrown into the ocean or thrown into a swamp, and
Yeah.
like many decades of organized crime.
Yeah, and a lot of these killers too that like become super famous. I think they become famous less because of like the horrific things that they're doing. I mean, that's part of it, but it's also just like their like ability to like not get caught. I think people are fascinated with their ability to just like outsmart the cops, outsmart the authorities, like not get caught. There's like a part of that too.
Yeah, it becomes like a game of what can you get away with,
Yeah.
not get caught.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw when I was doing my research, there was like a pretty low profile one in Wisconsin, and he's literally just called the to see if I could get away with it killer. Like he just killed somebody just to see if he could get away with it. That was his motive. That's what he said his motive was.
Yeah. They're just doing it to play games and
Yeah.
test the system.
Yeah, and I think most like mass killers are normally have a pretty concrete motive. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the times, like mass shooters are like pretty like suicidal. So
Yeah.
that's why most of the time they end up killing themselves afterward.
Yeah. They already had a plan to do it, and they just want to take out as many people as possible.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yep.
And we'll never find out that reason, but whatever their motivation is to do it, the world hurt them so bad that they have to go back and hurt the world.
Yeah, and the thing that like,
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the one that happened in Vegas a while ago during the Jason Aldean concert.
What was that?
Yeah, that was at the Mandalay Bay. I flew through Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah.
I just
that?
flew through Las Vegas this weekend, and on the airport tarmac, you can see the Mandalay Bay right there. And
Yeah.
it's like that's eerie.
Yeah, the
Oh, was he the one up in the hotel room that was
yeah,
down?
yeah,
All
from
right.
the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
But that guy, I'll figure out who it is right now. But
It was like Stephen some. Pat.
yeah, Stephen Paddock. Yeah, that's who it was, Stephen Paddock. He, if you like look at his history, he had like no history of crime, no history of violence, no history of like any of that. Like this was seemingly just like a random act of violence against a lot of people, and then he ended up committing suicide after.
It'd be fascinating to talk to somebody who's like a detective or criminal investigator or whatever, like how, because like there's got to be so much noise out there. Like how do you actually identify? It's got to be an almost impossible task, like identify legitimate threats before they actually like act. 'Cause
Yeah.
like I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
that guy, like no one, whatever. He had a lot of guns, but beyond that, like there wasn't really
I mean, at that point,
signs.
it's kind of like impossible unless at every hotel you put metal detectors and have like thorough security, but you can't do that. It's just making it so that people are afraid to go to public events.
Yeah,
Like, churches are getting hit left and right. Clubs are getting hit left and right. Schools. I mean, it's just anywhere you go, you should feel safe and secure in those places, and you can't. Any public events around here, there's a bunch of festivals and stuff that we go to. It's tough to not think about it while you're there. Be like,
Yeah.
man, something could happen.
and I think a lot of the mass shootings that have happened in the last like 20 years, like part of it is like they're inspiring other people to do it. It's like somebody looks on the news and they see this guy and like how many people he killed and this mass shooting, and then it inspires other people that are probably not completely right in the head to do the same thing.
Yeah, it gives them branches ideas for them.
Yeah, but I could definitely see how, I think people have a fascination with, doing things that they're not allowed to do, that they know they're not allowed to do, that's wrong. I think that's sort of kind of what like makes a lot of these like violent games kind of popular, is you can seemingly, even in a pretend setting, do all these things that are like, not okay, but you're not actually doing them in games where it's like,
Yeah, like Grand Theft Auto, one of the best-selling games ever, right? It's all just about getting away with crimes, basically.
yeah, yeah. It's like, I don't know. I think it's like almost like a thrill. It's like a rush for people to to commit crimes and do things that they know they're wrong, but it's just like there's a sort of rush with getting away with it.
Yeah, I mean, do you think, like, going back to the ideas thing where it branches ideas for other people, movies obviously have an effect. For like, let's just say the Saw movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to give people ideas left and right. But do you think, and nothing against like the directors or people that created those movies, but is that an outlet for them to not commit crimes? Or obviously they had these ideas in their head.
Yeah.
And at one time, instead of making a movie, do you think like, oh man, I had this idea to do this and this and this to these people, but instead of actually doing it, let me just make a movie about doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't
Like
know.
that's their outlet.
I'm
I'm sure
it's
they're great
possible.
people, and that probably wasn't the thought, but that
Yeah.
just came across my mind. I was like, is that their outlet instead of actually doing it? And then doing those Saw movies, how many people are you going to have trying to replicate whatever happened?
Yeah, well, it's like whether or not you call out the exact directors of like a particular movie or whatever, like just in general, that's what I always wonder is that like, is having more content showing how horrible this stuff is in aggregate, does that make people like more aware of signs of it and more like just like aware of it to stop it? Or does it make like the psychos more whatever fixated on like what's the most demented thing they can do?
Yeah,
It's like
like,
how do you
more
what's the
specifics. What do you-
yeah, like does shedding light, is that a good thing or is that just going to lead to more demented crap? Like
I feel like it's probably a little bit of both.
yeah.
I feel like people that are already probably not all that right in the head probably will use it as inspiration for their own crimes, whereas like normal people will look at that and be like, yeah, that's obviously terrible, and it'll like spread awareness that like this stuff is going on, and there'll be public outrage from like people that are not crazy, I suppose.
Yeah. It's wild. Some people just don't have boundaries or like any semblance of right and wrong.
Yeah.
Got any other true crime?
Yeah, let's see. Well, there's that other one in Wisconsin that I don't know too much about it, but it was that Netflix documentary, Making a Murderer. It was huge when it came out. Stephen Avery was the guy, and he was convicted of a murder like in 2005, and then he was released.
Yeah.
And he owned like this junkyard or something. This lady came to take pictures of a car, and then she ended up dying. But I guess it was like his nephew that killed her, but he was also in on it, and I don't know where it landed, but that was another big one, Making a Murderer. So Wisconsin is not going to, they don't have a good rapport with the crime scene. We have that Stephen Avery one, Ed Gein, the Slenderman girls, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Those are the Wisconsin big four. I wonder which state has like the most.
Like per capita? I would
Maybe not murders, but like I don't know how you phrase it.
indiscriminate killers.
Yeah.
Indiscriminate killings.
Yeah.
I don't know. So again, I was just in San Francisco. It was interesting because in that city, like everywhere you are in the city, you can see Alcatraz basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting that, I mean, obviously it's shut down now, but like it's similar to what we were saying about when you have a bunch of like media showing all the horrors of it. It's like on the same thing on like the, I guess the flip side is like there used to be a lot more like media about like the punishment aspect and like for like, and just having like an island right next to your city where it's like if you do something bad, you're going to get stuck there for life and you're going to be whatever, you're never leaving and it's going to be miserable. Or like kind of like the Scared Straight show that they used to have.
Oh
yeah.
Scared Straight.
Yeah, it's like an early form of Scared Straight is like, oh, by the way, like if you commit a crime in this city, you're going to that island that looks miserable.
Yes.
Like,
Doesn't Donald Trump want to reopen Alcatraz Island?
yeah, he was saying that. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, that no 50-year mortgage.
I don't know. Alcatraz Island has a lot more interesting history than just being a prison.
wild. Yeah, we didn't do the tour, but I was reading about it. Like the guys that escaped from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How long does that swim?
It's like it's not that long of a swim. Like it's
No?
like less than a mile and a half. Like it's 1 point something
Alright.
miles. So like if you're a good swimmer, you can probably make that. Yeah, and I think a lot of those guys are probably like malnourished. But
Yeah.
like if you're in decent shape and it's like summertime and you jump in,
Yeah.
you have a decent. They actually do that's like a race they do these days, is a swim from Alcatraz to the mainland. But the guys that escaped, or one of the famous ones, was that he took soap and he like molded the soap to look like him, and he put it under like on his bed, so it looked like he was laying in his bed. Then he like took out like a vent or something in the wall and like slowly chiseled a hole through the wall, I think into like the sewage system or something. I don't know the exact
Jeez.
specifics, but like he basically like super tediously drilled a tunnel out, and like every night would put this soap down so it looked like he was sleeping in bed,
Well,
until he
that's
made it
good.
far enough through this little escape valve or tunnel he created to get out. And he
Yeah.
got into the water. They never found him, so they don't know if he drowned or if he got to land.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they all, like, all the guys that were in on it, they made like dummies out of wax and soap to put in their beds, and they like basically like collected their own hair to like put in it too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the hair
Pluck
looked
it out
real.
just to.
Yeah, and that is what they did. They like took the vent off the wall and like chiseled until they could fit.
Well, I mean, they got
Out the
nothing to
back.
lose. They're already in Alcatraz.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, because there was on the day of their escape, there was like another guy that got left behind. Like he didn't make it out because like he couldn't.
All right.
He didn't chisel away his like opening enough to like get out. But yeah, they made like a makeshift raft out of like jackets or something.
Really?
Yeah, like jackets and like life preservers or something. I don't know, but
It's crazy.
I think the general consensus is that they drowned.
Yeah. It is crazy like what people can do when they have no other options.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That they came up with that and like pulled it off.
Top 3 states with the most recorded serial killers. To no surprise. New York, California, Texas.
Yeah, I think that's also partly because they have the most people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like per capita?
Are we going serial killers or just murders?
Serial killers per capita.
I don't know how
I don't know if we have.
detailed that stat is.
I don't know if
Here
we
we
have
go.
statistics.
Here we go.
on-
You ready? We got ChatGPT. It's got some statistics.
All right.
Okay.
Number 1. Any guesses?
Were you
Alaska.
countries?
Yep. Number 1 is Alaska. Did you look?
I actually knew it was Alaska, but I did see it on your screen.
That makes sense though, because I feel like everyone going to Alaska is probably already kind of sketchy.
The most famous one that I can think of in Alaska is there was a guy that would like drug people, and like then he would like basically take them out into the woods, and he would like set them free, and then he would like hunt them like you're hunting like a deer or something. He would like hunt them down.
That's insane.
That was like his thing.
Yeah, there's like so much land up there and so few people. I feel like people like
Yeah.
who knows what's going on up there now.
You could easily take somebody out into the middle of freaking nowhere where nobody's gonna ever find them and
Yeah.
murder them in Alaska. So that makes sense.
When I think of Alaska, I think there was like a movie from when I was a kid that was called 40 Days of Night. It was about like the stretch when the sun doesn't rise for 40 straight days. It was about vampires, but when I saw that movie, I was like, I'm never going to Alaska. This place is way too uncharted.
I would get depressed of 40 days a
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So-
Number 2 state, Louisiana, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. This is serial killers, right?
Yeah.
All right. So serial killers
Yeah.
by country. What do you think? Obviously, United States is number 1 by a long shot.
Really?
By a long shot.
I wonder if that's just because we have like a better criminal justice system. Like if we
Like we're catching more.
Yeah.
Also, our population compared to a lot of other at least
Is
European
that
countries.
is that per capita or just like in aggregate?
Actually, yeah, it is per capita. So
Well, you got to imagine, like, you know, in the other countries, the government was doing enough killing of their own people to make up for the fact that they didn't have any serial
Yeah.
killers.
all right,
In a lot of
take a
places
guess
it's
at what.
probably true.
Take a guess at what number 2 is.
Russia or China? Oh, it's Russia.
Russia's
Yeah.
It's got to be Russia.
I also looked up murders per capita.
Yeah, like, and when we say like China, or like, how do we factor in state-sponsored serial killing?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely been more genocides outside of the U.S.
What do you guys think
Yeah.
the top 5 murders per capita is? Top 5 countries.
Well, number one is probably still USA. No, Brazil.
Oh, no.
Mexico? Is Mexico?
Mexico's number 5.
Because of the cartels. That's why I was thinking Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
El Salvador, maybe not anymore. They might have used to be.
No, they were. They have to
cleaned
be
it up.
one of the safest countries now.
Yeah, it's
They just
crazy.
threw everybody in prisons. And
Yeah.
it's, who's I watching? This travel vlogger, I think is either Timmy Carter or Baldwin Bankrupt. Like he was there during like the prime murder times when no
MS-13 was still running around.
13 was running around. Nobody was in the streets. He went back maybe a year ago, and it was like a brand new city. Like it was vibrant, bright. Families were running around. It was
Mhm.
absolutely insane to see the transformation that they did there.
Yeah, well, El Salvador's basically dictator of a leader. He like makes like a policy where it's like any evidence that you have any affiliation with MS-13 at all, you go to jail immediately.
Yeah. I mean, his main goal was just clean it up, just the fastest way possible to clean up the country.
Yeah.
Do it.
Have you seen like news about like that prison that they put him in?
Yes. What is that
It's
called?
horrific.
Oh man, I watched a ton of YouTube videos on this.
Yeah, they have to. They're in like this prison where, like, they're basically under 24-hour surveillance. There's like this big open, like, basically it's one cell in the middle, and they have the lights on that they're on all the time. They never turn the lights off.
Jeez,
They
that
get-
sounds painful.
Yeah, they get like 15 minutes out of their cell a day, but it's in this area, like this centralized area
Yeah,
where they're surrounded by guards and guns, and they just have like an instructor up front doing stretches with. And then
Yeah.
they're back in their bay with like 200 other people.
and even when they're in their normal cell, they're still constantly being watched. Like they're never
Oh,
not
yeah,
being
yeah.
watched.
Yeah, that's
So CCOT, Supermax Mega Prison, it has a capacity of 40,000 inmates. So about, what's that, a baseball stadium size?
That's wild.
About,
Yeah,
And that's in El Salvador. You're saying?
yeah.
they got
It's like
the they got the capacity of a small country
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that prison.
I'll go down the top 5 of this.
Wait, I want to see if we can guess them. So I want to.
All right. So you got number 5 was Mexico.
Okay, I think something in the Middle East is on there.
Nope.
No. All right, then I'm gonna go. Let me think. Is it mostly like South America? Like is Venezuela on there?
South America.
Cambodia.
No.
Oh, like Myanmar or whatever, and they've had civil wars over there.
Yeah, I know.
What is that like in the last year? How old is that?
2023.
Okay. So not Venezuela.
I don't
Colombia
want
doesn't
to.
really have drug problems as much anymore.
Not
Jamaica.
Colombia. Jamaica's number 1 on the list.
Okay, Jamaica. Yeah, because
Wow,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like the island countries.
It's gotten bad. Like Jamaica, it's like on a travel advisory these days.
Wow,
They basically say don't go.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Haiti.
Yep. Haiti, number 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does
Haiti's-
make sense.
I feel like 24 and 25 might jump up to 2 or 1 on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you got 2 more, number 2 and number 4.
Is Dominican Republic not on there?
No.
no.
Recently, though, they've had a lot of news of stuff going on.
So where are the last two? Like geographically, what continent?
Central and South.
Okay, so Central and South.
Wow, that's crazy that they're all right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be just because of like the
Cartels.
cartels and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Cartels and gangs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not Colombia, not Venezuela. It's not going to be Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Uruguay.
No.
It's not El Salvador. It's not going to be Panama. It's not. What else is there's a couple. Honduras.
Yep, that's 4.
Okay. And then number 2.
Get a geography lesson in here.
Yeah.
Panama.
No.
Panama is in there. I don't know.
He said South America, so I'm thinking.
Yeah, this one is in South America.
They may say Chile.
Northwest South America.
Oh, Northwest.
Ecuador.
Peru.
Ecuador.
Oh, Ecuador. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, all very high.
High murder, low serial killer. So I feel like serial killing is something that only happens in like a more prosperous society.
Yeah.
When people run out of problems, they just create them for themselves.
No, you're right, because at least with like the legal system, you know, if you're in Haiti right now, you go out and murder somebody, there's like no legal system that you're gonna have any repercussions from. You might have repercussions from gangs or cartels or something like that, but as far as a police force, I know outside of a certain zone they can't even operate because it's so bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like in places like that, I still think it's different than like serial killers you see in the US or like mass murders you see in the US. Because my guess is most of the murders that happen in those countries are related to some form of gang violence.
Yeah, like Mexico, I'd say a lot of theirs is probably cartel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like there's like a clear motive where it's like,
all right, this person probably did something.
like they're both bad, but like in my mind, like a serial killer killing somebody for absolutely no reason and doing like horrific things to them is a lot worse than somebody committing a murder in like a gang affiliated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's wild is like in some of these other countries, if you're someone who's just messed up in the head, there's like channels for that energy, and it's like you join a gang, or you like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like you get involved
I
in
mean,
drug
and
violence.
sometimes in Haiti, in parts of Ecuador, that's your only option. You grow up poor, you don't have any food, and your only option to survive is join a gang or join a cartel or anything. And it's sad. It's sad that that's the only option. And, you know, they might not want to take it, but they have to take it if they want to survive.
Yeah, and I feel like Haiti was not as bad until the 2008 earthquake that basically like decimated the whole country.
Yeah.
You know, Haiti's just a sad one because it literally is just like extreme poverty. Like it's literally just fighting over resources or whatever, what little resources.
I think they have some like ethnic like violence that goes on too.
They have, yeah. I've heard about that. There's definitely like some racial, like Haitian versus like more like, I guess, mixed or whatever. There's some stuff there.
Yeah, there's like two or three different like, I don't know if you want to call them tribes or, but there's like a couple different like ethnic groups that live in Haiti that are not on the best terms.
Yeah, it says it's according to ChatGPT, it's pretty like politically motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brutal.
All right. What about the safest countries? What do you guys think the safest are?
It's got to be like those small like micro countries. I'm thinking
like Malta's on there.
Yeah. I'm thinking like
Macau.
Yeah, like Qatar and
Qatar, no.
Qatar's not
Oman,
on.
yes.
Oman, well, I would never have guessed
Kind of
Oman.
surprised because they have Yemen in a civil war right next to them. So it's Zimbabwe, number 3, and number 1 with 0.07 murders per 100,000 people, Singapore.
I believe that. The one thing I know about Singapore is their freaking punishments for crimes is like so strict.
Are they really?
Yeah, if you like get caught stealing something, they'll cut your hand off. That's the punishment for stealing.
Like old laws. Going back to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
times.
I don't know if it was a myth, but it was like a crime to spit or to chew gum at one point. That's what I've heard.
I think it.
Or like
I think
spit your
it
gum
is.
out or something.
Yeah, if you like spit your gum out, they'll cane you in public. Like the cop will like come and whip out his cane and just beat you.
It's great.
And they're very like strict and have certain caning is not applied for women or males over the age of 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just why people don't commit crimes there, because the punishments are so severe. Like literally my dad, he used to go on a lot of business trips there, and he said that you could probably leave your laptop, your phone, your wallet, your keys just like sitting on a park bench,
Well, also
walk away
reading
for
this-
3 hours, come back, and they would all still be there.
Yeah, they don't have jury trials. It's all just by judge. Whatever the judge deems
Yeah.
goes. So you don't have a group of your peers to have logic. Let's say that judge had a bad day. I'd sad to say, but say the judge had a bad day, might be a little more strict on his punishment.
Yeah, it says in schools in Singapore, caning is a disciplinary measure for boys. Not allowed for girls, but for boys, you can get caned with 3 strokes on your butt if you act up in school.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it says for spitting, you can get $1,000 fine for a first offense, and subsequent offenses, you can get jail time. You spit.
That's crazy.
And if you spit intentionally,
$1,000 fine for spitting.
I bet you it's very clean.
Yeah.
I see people here spit all the time, whether it's dip, whether
Yeah.
they just spit to clear their mouth. I mean, it's all the time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I think that like we're kind of veering, but
That's
This is the true crime. This is
like America we treat our public spaces in America a lot worse than they do in other countries.
Yep.
Like we trash our public spaces. Like that's why a lot of our cities are like so like disgusting. Like they're like not nice places to live because there's just like trash everywhere. And like you look at like places in like California, like people are like pooping on the road and like they're not cleaning it up and like all this stuff.
It all depends on geographically where you are.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's some cities in the United States that are better than others, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just nothing that the United States is focused on because there's been so much other stuff going on. It's hard to.
I think that is like a little bit of a cultural thing though too.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of Asian countries, like especially like Japan, like you go and it's like a cultural expectation that you just like you don't litter, you like do all these things. I'm not that it isn't a cultural expectation here. I just don't think it's like
It's taught the same way, or I think the strictness has.
you just
to do with
don't.
it.
There's not a whole lot of public scrutiny. Like if I litter, like nobody's gonna like look down on me or like
Yeah, you might have like 1 or 2 people out of 10 that say something.
yeah. Most people won't though.
Yeah.
Most people won't like
They'll just
go
turn
up to somebody that littered and like publicly reprimand them. Where it's like in a lot of these other countries, is like if you get caught littering, like everybody will like look at you like you just
Yeah, they'll
like committed
scold
like
you.
a horrific offense. So
Yeah.
and that's like just like a cultural aspect, not even like a laws aspect of like
yeah. We're that consumer culture. You just
Yeah.
yeah. You throw it away and you get the next thing. You don't really focus on.
Yeah. I mean, I get a box delivered to my house, and inside that box, a smaller box with the actual item. We're just producing so much that it's hard to find. It's not an excuse, but
yeah.
it's hard to find for some people the right means to dispose of it, and maybe that's what leads to it. But try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And the thing the actually like the thing about Japan that I heard is they don't even have like a lot of places to throw stuff away, and people still don't litter. Like we have trash cans all over the place in our city.
Yeah.
We make it really easy for people not to litter, and people still do. Whereas in like Japan, there's like no trash cans anywhere. So people just like put the trash in their pocket and take it home with them. That's how like culturally ingrained it is for them not to trash their public spaces.
Yeah, there's a lot of separate culture. I know we're really shifting this podcast here, but
It's just
What
a
I've
it's
been-
just a weave. We'll come back.
It's
We'll
all,
leave.
it's all
What
about crime and punishment.
Yeah.
So
what I've seen a lot, like with the Japan culture thing, is a lot of their
Yeah.
gyms are like, hey, no tattoos. You can't show any tattoos. So guys
Yep.
have to wear, those compression sleeves and full shirts. and leg slaves just because it's not a thing over there. Culturally,
yeah.
it's different.
It's because Japan had huge gang organized crime problems with like the Yakuza.
Oh,
It was
really?
like their organized crime there that I think ran the country for like a good period of time, like back a few decades ago. So I think a lot of that is like a reaction to.
So it's more so like
We've
tattoos were affiliated with it, with the crime. So they're like, hey, we're just going to ban anybody with tattoos just to be safe.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, the Yakuza was like, that's like Japan's like major organized crime syndicate. They're almost like the same. I mean, they're pretty equivalent to like the cartels in Mexico in terms of like some of the stuff that they do.
Yeah.
A lot of drug operating, or is it just more so like mob aspect, like money and crime?
Mob aspect, but it's organized crime.
Right.
Is really what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they peddle drugs because
That's just
it's just an easy way to make a ton of money.
Yeah. But so it looks like they're being kind of aged out, the Yakuza, because at the end of 2022, the average age of members was 54 years old. Only 5% members were in their 20s.
Okay.
So it's like the cracking down,
it's not
intense
cool anymore.
crackdown
It's
is.
not the
Yeah.
way of life.
Yeah.
Well, they're just not in power anymore, right? You were saying that they basically ran the country when they were at their height.
Well, it says they had like 60 to 70,000 members in the 90s.
Well, it's like the MS-13
Yeah.
stuff. How many kids in Venezuela now aren't going to join MS-13 because they're all locked up?
They can't.
There's
They
a
can't
format
join
question.
MS-13.
Yeah.
There's no one to recruit them.
Only
That's what I mean. You
All the recruiters are in jail.
you do something
Are
and
dead.
These kids hopefully have a better option than joining gangs and having a
Yeah.
little more fulfilling life.
Yeah, though that is like, it's crazy because like in this, like what we were saying earlier, in this day and age, like there used to be these very public, organized crime rings, and it's like now so much of that, especially in like first world countries, is just digital, or like that.
Yeah.
Not like this, not one-to-one digital, but like it's like the place where people go and they feel like whatever outcasts or like they kind of don't like society is now like just this. Yeah, it's like online.
Well, it
forums.
is
Yeah.
digital more so, and it's not even. It's just not the same. Instead of having organized crime that associates with death and murders and whatnot, it's like everybody's seeing all the betting rigging going on with the NBA, and now there's a baseball scandal that just came out. So I think that's like the new organized crime because there's so much money to be made off of it. But who's placing $20,000 on a random pitcher that nobody knows at Tuesday night to throw 2 balls as his first 2 pitches? I mean, nobody's betting on that. That's how they get caught because they're just not smart about it.
Yeah.
But
The rise of just like gambling has gotten. I feel like gambling is changing to where it's less like going into a casino
yeah,
and like placing bets in like a slot machine. And now it's like, with like Kalshi, you can basically bet on like the weather tomorrow.
yeah,
You can go there and you can
bet on anything.
Yeah.
And it used to be like you said, it was casinos, but for the mob guys, there was like an underground poker ring that they had going. And now it's all digital. You don't need to leave your room to do any of this stuff. It's unbelievable how easy it is.
Yeah. The sports, like organized crime on gambling, has been around for a long time, though.
Oh
Yeah.
Like, because this
Yeah,
NBA thing that just
rigging.
happened, like the whole Chauncey Billups, I can't remember who else was involved, but it reminded me of the guy. So this guy, Tim Donaghy, he was an NBA ref who the Gambino crime family was paying off in, it says between like the 90s to 2007. Because I remember that guy, like, I think he might have been a ref in like some NBA finals even. And he was getting paid off by a family,
Yeah.
like a crime family. Right, he officiated 772 regular season games and 26 playoff games. And
Wow.
was getting paid off. He got 15 months in prison.
Yeah, so it's just changed from 50 years ago, 60 years ago. It's developed into what it is now, and
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it's just it's harder to do some crimes today, but it's easier to do others.
Yeah, yeah. The technology has adapted us to
Yeah.
now you can't go kill somebody and dump them wherever because technology follows you everywhere. Your car, GPS, your phone, if you got a computer with you, wherever it follows you.
Yeah.
Whereas a long time ago it was different. Now it's all online crime. It's scamming people, it's gambling rings, it's
Yeah.
everything else. Just weird how it's changed over the years.
That makes you kind of think, you know, how many serial killers there might have been back in like the 1700s that like we know nothing about.
Yeah.
They might have lived
There's
their whole
nothing
life
reported on them.
and they killed like X amount of people, and
Yeah.
there's just
You can
like
go back that
we
far.
don't know.
And you can go 50, 60 years in the future. What's crime going to be like then? It'll be totally
Yeah.
different. It'll be all AI based
Yeah.
crime or
We won't even have an opportunity to commit crimes that they committed for us. But no, like
yeah.
back in the day, especially before they even had like a public record. Yeah, I'm like, if someone wanted to commit crime, they could probably just get away with it.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you're like in the 15, 16, 17, 1800s, like even like up through the mid 1900s, like the only real thing tracking was like a regular census. But like I feel like there was very little, and like word of mouth.
Yeah.
But there was like
Yeah,
there
your
was no
local
like digital
sheriff.
trail.
Yeah.
There was like so much fewer records. So it's like these days there's so much online. It's really hard to filter through it all. And like I think it can be so unclear on like where the line of like freedom of speech is breached and actually like a crime is committed. I think that's
Yeah.
really hard to say these days. But at the same time,
Yeah.
like once you identify a suspect, it's pretty easy to get like a paper trail on them. I think. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like because you can just trace IP addresses and all that stuff.
Yeah. Trace IP
But-
addresses. Not to mention people just put everything online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, a lot of people are pretty dumb and they just like post on Facebook like, can I
Well-
go to?
The other aspect of it is there wasn't even like good reporting on like how many people were even like on the planet back in like the 1800s. So somebody could have died and nobody even
yeah,
knew who they were.
left
There was
alone. There's
there's
Yeah.
literally no way for them to even like know that person even existed.
yeah. Well, yeah, communication.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't text my wife tonight, she's gonna be like, or if I don't
What
go
happened?
home, she's gonna be like, oh, where are you? What happened? You know, track you, whatever, get your location. But
Yeah.
100 years ago, hey, if your husband doesn't come home, I don't know, maybe he's drinking, maybe he left you.
Yeah.
Maybe he did get murdered. I don't know. But you just can't track that.
Yeah, and also back then, you know, because of communication being what it was and like transportation being what it wasn't like completely out of the ordinary that you wouldn't hear for somebody for like a long period of time just because of how long it took
Yeah.
communication to go back and forth. So it's like someone might get killed like in between communication strings and you won't know till like 2 months later.
Yeah. Yeah.
After they
That's how
haven't
often you
replied back.
see 'em or,
Yeah.
and then by then,
By then it's like
it's-
whoever
it's
did it
already
is
done and
long
over
gone.
with. Yeah. You have no idea how to trace or do anything. 'Cause the crime scene has been,
You don't even know where the crime scene is, most likely.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's crazy to think about.
But yeah, but then back in the day too, before all this, whatever, all the scrutiny of stuff, yeah, like Hulk was saying earlier with like the gladiator rings and stuff, there used to be like so many just like human atrocities committed that no one
Oh, yeah.
had any idea was
I don't know
happening.
who it was, but like they used to play a game with severed heads.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was, I forget. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but this is what I thought of. So, back in like an early form of soccer,
I think this
used to
is
be this game where they had like this, I don't know, I think it was just like a ring that was like up in the air, and you would have two teams that would play each other, and the losing team, they would all get executed by getting their heads chopped off.
It's crazy.
But it was like a primitive form of soccer where they would like have to score by kicking the ball through this like ring. And yeah, the winning team got nothing. They got the privilege. They got the privilege of not dying, and then the losing team, they got all their heads chopped off.
Yeah, the
It's a
winners got
pretty
to
big
play
incentive.
round.
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty big incentive there.
they got the privilege of playing another game of soccer.
Yeah. Well, I recently learned about the French catacombs, which I don't even know if that's really an atrocity as much as like
So that's not even like an atrocity. That's just like
It's
that's where they
just-
buried. That's where they buried a bunch of people.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I didn't realize. So there's like literally like hundreds of thousands of bodies down there.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. Like they,
Like you walk, like if you see pictures of it, you walk through it. It's like, there's like, it's almost like walking through like hallways, but like the walls are just bones.
Yeah.
Bones on top of bones on top of bones.
yeah, that is insane. And it's right under Paris, right? Like it's,
Yeah. Yeah. It's right under Paris.
Jeez. Is it like blocked off? Like
And like a
can't go
huge,
there, or what's the?
and like a huge portion of those bodies were like people that were executed during the French Revolution,
yeah, that makes sense.
during like the Reign of Terror and all that.
Yeah. So you can get, there's like ways to get down there. I think they do like guided tours even, but like yeah, what I read online about it was like they were having like space problems in the city. So they like dug up a bunch of graves and put them down there. Then, but like, I mean, I'm sure there was bodies from just whatever, any sort of mass grave. And I'm sure terrible crimes happen down there all the time, or have historically happened down there. Cause it's just like buried under the
Yeah.
city, just tons and tons of bodies and like sorted bones. It's like, it's gruesome. And that's like a state or like whatever, a government sponsored project to move all the bones down there.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I think it was just like a series of like mass graves that like built up over time underneath Paris to where eventually it became like this huge like labyrinth of just like these huge graves where just like so many people are buried.
Theory, you know, when you're walking above like a just massive graveyard.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like you hear about these like serial killers and like these atrocities. And then it's like, oh, by the way, like in one of the largest cities in the modern world, there's like hundreds of thousands of bodies organized by their
Yeah.
bones. And we don't really know where the bodies came from. Like what the, yeah. Not that it's one and the same, but like, it's just
We-
just crazy the stuff people
Yeah.
get up to.
We have some idea where some of the bodies came from. Like I said,
Yeah.
we think that a good amount of the bodies got put there during the French Revolution because they were like, there was like a period of like 2 or 3 years where they were just basically chopping people's heads off at the guillotine like every single day around the clock, just like people were getting guillotined. Yeah, it was like during I think it was called like the Reign of Terror, or like this guy Robespierre was like the leader of
He's
France
the
at the time.
orchestrator of all these
And
deaths.
He was like super paranoid about the people that were like going against the revolution or like treason. So like all these people were getting sent to the guillotine for treason, essentially.
Oh, it's just because they didn't agree with his views.
Not even that, like he just was paranoid, and it's like they said something that could be taken as being anti-revolutionary, and then they would just like, you could just like, it was so
So
bad.
it's like the Salem.
Yeah,
Where I could just
yeah.
be like, oh, she's a witch.
I could literally,
Or-
you could literally just say that like, hey, my neighbor, I overheard them saying this about the
Yeah, and then they're
government.
just
Like
done. So
they-
whoever you don't like is
Yeah.
getting executed.
I could just walk up and be like, yeah, my neighbor like kind of said like that he kind of thought the king might have been kind of cool. That's pretty anti-revolutionary. Let's cut his head off.
Wild.
And then, yeah, it just turns into like a witch hunt.
Yeah.
And like
that blows my
people that were killing people last week are getting killed this week. Like,
Yeah.
like the Salem witch trials blow my mind.
And the biggest,
This woman said something completely logical, and a man didn't like it. And they're like, "Oh, burn her at the stake. She's a witch. 'Cause
Yeah.
she knows more than me."
or give her
Just don't be an idiot.
the cement shoes. They used to basically fill their feet with like cement, throw them into the river or something, or the lake, and the whole thing is that if they floated to the top, they were a witch, but if they drowned, then they weren't a witch. So if they drowned, they're like,
lose-lose
they're like,
situation.
oh, they drowned it. I guess they weren't a witch. That sucks.
I'm sure none of them ever came up.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they realize what an idiotic. It's just I'm
There's-
astounded at how illogical people were, but they didn't think they were because they were so brainwashed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it happens today. It happens all the time today. People are brainwashed into thinking this, and that's all they think. So they think it's right.
Yeah. There's another thing
It's
that
unbelievable.
there's another thing that they would do where they would get like this long post with like a chair on the end, and they would tie them to it, and they would dunk them in the water and like hold them there right till they were about to drown, and then pull them back up, and they would just keep doing that until they confessed that they were a witch.
Yeah, because you're gonna give in eventually. You're gonna die otherwise.
Yeah, so it's like you either die or you confess that you're a witch.
It's
And
just
then
what
it's-
form of punishment or death would you prefer?
Yeah. And then as soon as you confess that you're a witch, obviously you get burned at the stake.
Yeah, that's
So it's like-
unbelievable. I can't believe.
Quite honestly, if I was in their shoes, I think I would rather burn at the stake than drown. I don't know. It's kind of a tough.
don't know.
I'd rather not be.
Definitely a tough.
It's a hard
tough
one to have much
choice.
insight about.
But
Yeah.
I just can't get over the fact that people thought that this was logical and a good idea.
Yeah.
It's all just like
never.
intimidation. I feel like half of that is just intimidation.
Well, yeah,
People
and it goes back to the people that just don't have empathy. There's people, I'm sure that where they're like thinking to themselves, "Man, this is not good. We shouldn't be doing this." But they can't speak up because guess what? They're going to be in that chair next.
Yeah.
Or they're
Yeah.
going to be on that stake next. But that's astounding how
Yeah.
like, people just conform because they're afraid or I don't know, they just think they won't fit in. I mean, you just
Yeah.
got to learn to realize that.
I mean, this
world is made for that.
this leads to a deeper conversation and just about how easy it is for people to just kind of get rid of their humanity and just kind of conform to like what the majority of people are doing.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
some of the biggest atrocities in the history of our species, that was like one of the main drivers is like people just kind of, they knew it was wrong,
go
but
with
they
the
just kind of
flow,
said,
yeah.
whatever, it's not me, it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
So-
afraid to stand up for
Yeah.
what was actually right.
I think sometimes it's like a survival instinct. People don't want to
It's
see.
the-
They don't
it's
want to
the
stand up for
fight
the
or
crowd,
flight.
so they just go along with
Yeah.
the thing, and then that thing that they're going along with becomes more and more insane until like another group of people from outside of that bubble comes in and is like, "What's
Yeah.
wrong with you guys?" And then a war happens, or like there's like an overthrowing.
And I think part of it too is like a lot of people, they probably start out thinking like, oh yeah, this is crazy. Like I obviously don't agree with this, but I'm not going to say anything because I want to like protect myself. To where at the end, all of a sudden they're like, yeah, you know what? It actually is totally cool. Like it's actually correct what
You'll
we're doing.
believe a lie eventually if you keep
Yeah.
telling yourself it.
You just keep telling yourself like, yeah, this is okay. Like this is acceptable. Like this is what we should be doing. Like, yeah, eventually you believe it.
Yeah. I mean, hey, what we all should be taking away from this is stand up if someone's doing something wrong. If
Yeah.
a group of people are doing something wrong, who cares what people are going to think of you or
Well, that's like
whatever. They can't
Yeah.
burn you at the stake today, hopefully, but
that's like the essence of indoctrination too. It's like people don't speak up soon enough, and then they commit an atrocity themselves, and then like I think people are so hardwired to like not admit when they do something wrong, and then
Yeah.
it's like they become very like defensive, and then just like eliminate what they feel as threats to them because
and this
that's when you
happens.
just end up with such a messed up.
This happens
system.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember the college or whatever, but there's a fraternity that a couple kids died because their initiations were too much. It was basically torture,
Yeah,
and nobody spoke out. Why?
Yeah.
Because they're afraid to get ridiculed by their friends. They're afraid of whatever repercussions were to happen if the police or anybody else found out. But people paid the price because nobody wanted to speak out, and then they finally got caught on the back end. But in those situations, we as a country and just as people in
Yeah.
general need to learn, hey, this ain't right. My moral gauge is off here. Maybe I should say something.
yeah, and like
Bring it up.
be comfortable speaking up, like
Yeah.
immediately, like
Yeah.
not feeling like you have to swallow your words or like understand something. Like if you,
Yeah.
if
And it's going to be
it's
tough.
wrong, just
You're
call it out.
you're probably going to be ridiculed for it, but
Yeah.
he might save somebody's life or save their humility or whatever else,
Yeah. And the
I'm-
worst,
I'm sure that person that is happening to will appreciate it, and that's what
Yeah,
counts.
because obviously in the group, I think there's some people that do believe that it's okay, but like you'll speak out about it, and then you'll get ridiculed by a bunch of people that are really just being a bunch of hypocrites because they think the same thing,
But-
but they don't want to go against the group.
Exactly.
So
It's easier said than done though when you're like speaking
Yeah.
up,
Oh, yeah.
speaking up against like the Roman army or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like the
not,
French.
it's not easy
resistance.
if you want to get thrown at the guillotine.
The other thing about gladiatorial combat though is like there were some like gladiators that got like so popular with the public they like won their freedom.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Or people would buy their freedom too, right? I think that was a thing. Like sometimes
Yeah.
like a royal person would pay
Yeah.
to.
Just a big popularity contest.
Yeah. So basically they would get so popular that they would like almost start making money themselves, right? Like they could just buy their own freedom from like the money they were getting from like the public. I mean,
Yeah, whoever they were around that
yeah.
they became popular with.
Yeah, that would have been an insane time.
But
I always wonder like how much of our historical understanding is actually like true.
yeah, the Colosseum is really freaking interesting. Like they used to be able to like fill it with water and do like naval battles in there. There's like
I learned
evidence.
a lot today.
There's like evidence that they had. There's like evidence that they hooked the aqueducts that they had made up to the Colosseum, and that they could kind of make it watertight, so they could pump water in there and then drain it really easily. And they could have like full scale naval like they could have like naval battles in there for like show.
Reenactments.
Yeah.
They bring in animals from all over the world, and
Yeah, watch someone get mauled by a tiger or something. That's freaking crazy. But people thought that was okay back then. Like people weren't phased by that. Where it's like
Yeah, that was
nowadays I would probably be throwing up if I saw someone get mauled by a lion.
Yeah, nowadays you can't. If somebody commits a crime, you can't just put them in a ring with a tiger.
well, I feel like
Yeah.
nowadays we have like an understanding of like what is unfolding because we have so much more awareness. Like if you see someone put into an arena with a tiger, you're like, all right, this is messed up. What are they doing? Like back then, if you drop a tiger in an arena, I bet like 99% of the people in the crowd didn't even know what a tiger was. They're just like fascinated by like, what is this beast? Where did it come from? Like, you don't have
Yeah.
an internet or like a TV to see a tiger.
It's their only
That's so
really
weird.
source of entertainment, besides a couple games or whatever that they had too.
Yeah, and then like next thing you know, you're just looking at this, whatever, 500-pound monster.
Yeah, and I don't
Oh,
think
dang, now it's eating a guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're as desensitized to violence as probably they were. They were probably so used to seeing that sort of stuff that it just didn't faze them anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting how that gets phased out.
Yeah.
As new
Well, and-
generations come along.
And I think life in general was probably just so much more brutal back then. Like,
Yeah.
you're just like, you're used to getting like beat up when you
Yeah, you're
act
fighting
wrong.
more.
Or like pretty much probably most of the young men would go serve in the military.
Yeah.
Like,
Or they would lie about their age and serve in the military at like 15 or 16.
yeah, you're getting shipped off all over the world. And yeah,
And warfare back then was, in a lot of ways, a lot more brutal than probably it is now.
Oh yeah,
and training too. There's probably way more gruesome, like just the training process to do like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they probably
hand-to-hand
didn't have any
combat.
regulations on. Hey, this is where we stop. It's like, all right, we're on the same team, but we're gonna fight to the death so that you learn
yeah,
Yeah.
how to fight.
Well, and like wars back then, like there was a lot of people that went to battle and there was like, or they were sent out to fight and it was like, it's expected that they weren't going to come back.
Yeah,
Like in World War II when they would like hop over the trench to like try to take out the enemy trench, it was like somewhat expected that like everybody in that attack would die.
yeah.
Every single one of them. It was basically a death sentence to have to like charge at the enemy trench.
yeah, it's
Well, yeah, and imagine like whatever 2,000 years ago when you're in a war and you're like in a legion or whatever. If you're posted in the front before the battle starts, like you got no chance.
yeah.
Like how are you?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you're just
you're
not gonna make it
basically
out of
just
it. You got 1,000 guys coming on either side. Like
Yeah, and it's like you're in that formation, right? And you're like in the very front. And there's no way to like run backwards because the guy in front of you is
Oh,
like
yeah.
pushing you forward. And there's no way to like run forward because there's a bunch of guys that are trying to
Just a
kill you.
tactic to slow them down a little bit.
So it's like all you can do is like just stab the person in front of you.
just charge.
Yeah.
Like, but it was so glorified too. Like back then, it was like that was like a noble thing to do.
Yeah, to die
Yeah,
in
that's the
battle,
way to
like
die.
especially in like Spartan society,
Yeah.
was like seen as like this like amazing thing.
Yeah. For Vikings and I think Romans, there was a lot of pride in it too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually put their they actually put their strongest like people in the front, which you think would be counterintuitive because then they would die first, but like they wanted to be in the front. Like being in the front was the most prestigious position to be in,
Yeah.
Crazy.
unless you were like the king or something. Then I
Well,
guess-
also like
Yeah.
you also only lived like 30 or 40 years back then too. Like life
Yeah.
isn't very
Yeah.
long,
So
you know?
if you're in your 30s, you're like, oh, it's just, maybe it's Lieutenant Dan. It's his destiny to die. And
yeah.
Just to add into
his,
his
his father, his
Damn.
grandfather. It's my time.
All my ancestors died in a war, so I have to die in a war.
Yeah.
Follow in the footsteps.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we covered true crime, and then we circled all around
the globe and all
the
that.
Roman Empire and the Central America and everywhere in between.
What a world.
Yes.
What a world! A lot of crime in the world.
A lot of violence, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, not good stuff. Not good stuff. Stay away from the bad stuff. Do what's right. Do what's morally good, ethically good. You'll be okay.
Yeah.